Smash the like button if you believe that All Elite Wrestling has too many championship belts in their company.
So, let's talk about All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling Grand Slam. The first match, Will Ospreay with Kenny Omega versus Take a Shit with Kyle motherfucking Fletcher, the Cobra. A tag team match, player. I will say this, the number one thing that stood out in this whole entire match was all four men had tans. Everybody in this match had a tan, especially Will Ospreay. When was the last time we've seen Will Ospreay with a tan? Every week on Dynamite, this guy never has a tan, but he chooses this pay-per-view to have a tan. I thought that was odd. I think maybe it was Omega who told him, look bruh, you need a tan. Because every time I watch Ospreay every week, he never tans. He looked like Casper the Friendly Ghost. He is super white every week. He never tans. So this was rare. So what is my grade for Omega's performance in this match? I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I will say this, Omega was very good in this match, but let's be honest, we are never going to see the Omega from 5-8 years ago. I think this is the best we are going to get with this version of Omega because his body is broken down. Too many injuries. We are never going to call Omega the best fake pro wrestler in the world ever again. I think those days are behind him. This was a very good match. I will give it a 7 out of 10, but this match was very predictable. We all knew that Ospreay and Omega was going to win this match. There was no way in hell that a heel Kyle motherfucking Fletcher and Take a Shit were going to win in Australia. That was not going to happen. Of course, Omega and Ospreay were going to win this match. The biggest highlight of this whole entire match was Omega taking a brainbuster from Take a Shit. That was great shit. I was shocked that Omega took that move. So it looks like Omega is back to being 100%. So who do I think had the best performance in this match? I'm going to say it was Take a Shit. Take a Shit was a star in this match. Take a Shit is a star. I mean, yes, Kyle was good, but I just think that Take a Shit was the best in this match. But hopefully this loss does not mean anything for Kyle and Take a Shit. This needs to be the year of Kyle motherfucking Fletcher. And I'm hoping that Tony Khan does not let his foot off the gas. You need to start pushing Kyle Fletcher. This match ended via Omega's one-winged angel, and then Ospreay jumped off the top rope and he gave Take a Shit an elbow. And then 1, 2, 3, let's go home. Omega and Ospreay won. So it was a one-winged angel combo with an elbow from Ospreay. Let's talk about the next match. Sexy ass Harley Cameron versus Sasha Banks for the TBS Female Heavyweight Championship. Now, before this match this week, there's people online that were saying that Harley Cameron should beat Sasha Banks for the TBS Female Heavyweight Championship. Now listen, I'm a huge fan of sexy ass Harley Cameron, but that's nonsense. She's not ready to beat Sasha Banks. That's crazy. This match was nothing more than a token because this was her hometown. That's about it. It made no sense for sexy ass Harley Cameron to beat Sasha Banks. And don't get me wrong, I'm a huge fan of Harley Cameron, but let's be real, let's speak facts, and let's be objective. I don't hate Sasha Banks that much for her to be pinned by Harley Cameron just because this is her hometown. That makes no sense. It's not that serious. Sasha Banks needs to be beaten by somebody who's worthy, more worthy than Harley Cameron. Yes, Harley has been very impressive, very entertaining for the last 2 months, but that's not enough. It needs to be somebody like Chris Aslander or Willow Nightingale. Women like that, females like that. You gotta be a star. You can't be a low-tier mid-card girl like Harley Cameron. She is a low-tier female mid-card chick. So yes, I can be objective, when I'm talking about Sasha Banks. This was not the right time for Sasha Banks to drop that belt. It would have felt forced, right? Let title changes feel organic. Do not force title changes. People would have said this was forced for Sasha Banks to drop the belt to Harley Cameron just because this is her hometown. So here's the female who I think will beat Sasha Banks for the TBS Heavyweight Female Championship. It might be Megan Bayne. That's what I think. It should be Megan Bayne. I think Megan Bayne has a strong chance on beating Sasha Banks. This match was average. This match was not great. It was solid, average, but it was not great. There's nothing to remember about this match. I mean, yes, I am glad that sexy ass Harley Cameron got some shine, got some spotlight, but that's about it. This match was not good, but Harley is getting better every week. Harley is improving in that ring. So you gotta put some respect on sexy ass Harley Cameron's name. That female is getting better every month, but not to a point where she beats Sasha Banks for the TBS Female Heavyweight Championship. That's crazy. That's too early. She does not deserve it. She is not on that level. That's like maybe Elias beating Seth Rollins for the IC Championship. I'm like, nah, bruh. Elias was not ready. Elias is not on the level of Seth Rollins. So no, you don't have Elias beat Rollins for the IC Championship. That's called bad booking. I don't care if he's over. It's not realistic for Elias to beat Rollins for the IC Championship. That's my point. That's who Harley Cameron is. Harley is Elias. Like I said, Elias was not ready to beat a Seth Rollins. So this match ended via Sasha Banks giving Harley Cameron the Sasha Banks moneymaker. That's what I call it. I call it the Sasha Banks moneymaker. I'm telling you, that move is so ugly and pointless. I hate her finisher. It makes no damn sense. I don't like it. I never did. Her finisher, it's too busy. I'm like, just keep it simple. I would say about 2 years ago, Sasha Banks did that same move on Kairi Sane, and Kairi Sane botched that move because that move is too complicated. Just keep it fucking simple. Do something else because both parties have to be on the same page to make this move look good. Let's talk about the next match. Edge and Jay White versus Dean Ambrose and Cesaro, the Death Rider BBC Club. Now, I don't know why Pac-Man was not chosen to be Dean Ambrose's tag team partner. He was a better choice. He's from overseas, so that does make sense. And we don't see enough of Pac-Man. I'm seeing too much of Cesaro. Let's see more of Pac-Man. But I will say this, the promo skills of Dean Ambrose has rubbed off on Cesaro because Cesaro has gotten better at promos ever since he lined up with Dean Ambrose. You see, a lot of people don't pay attention to detail, right? So far, Edge has feuded with every member of the Shield, but there's nobody else but me that's ranking these feuds. How come you are not ranking these feuds with Edge and the Shield? I don't know why nobody's doing that but me. How come nobody else is talking about this? I think so far, the best feud with Edge has been with Seth Freaky Rollins. He's first, and second, it's Roman Reigns. So far, I must say, last place, it's Dean Ambrose. This feud has not been entertaining. When Edge came back to the World Wrestling Federation, he had banger feuds, especially with Seth Freaky Rollins. Seth broke in his house, right? That feud really put Seth on the map because back then, Seth had go away heat because he talked shit about Ospreay. So all the marks, all the fucking smart marks they did not forgive Seth for those comments about Ospreay. So back then, Seth had go away heat. But the moment he had a feud with Edge, that brought him back to light. And then people jumped back on the Seth Freaky Rollins bandwagon, and rightfully so. That was a great feud. With Edge and Dean Ambrose, I'm seeing zero creativity. I'm not seeing anything. I'm seeing lazy booking. It feels like a child has booked this feud. I'm seeing nothing new. This feud is bland and it's generic. I'm saying to myself, does Edge have creative control? I don't think so. I'm not seeing it. You see, Edge is known for bringing careers back to life, like a Seth Freaky Rollins, Randy Orton, etc., Finn Balor. I'm not seeing that with Dean Ambrose. I will say the only guy that's getting shine, who is getting over, it's Jay White. That's the only guy that's rubbing off on Edge. It's Jay White. I don't get it. Edge, he usually brings out the best out of his opponents, like Roman, Daniel Bryan, Seth, Randy, Roman, etc. But not so much Dean Ambrose. It's like, bro, Dean Ambrose is proving why he was the third best member of the Shield. Let's talk about the Judgment Day. Let's talk about Dane Priest, Rhea Ripley, Finn Balor, dirty ass Dominic. They got the Edge rub. Edge put them over, but he's not doing anything for the Death Rider BBC Club. I think it's Tony Khan's fault, because Edge was not going through this in the World Wrestling Federation against Orton, Seth, Roman, dirty ass Dominic, Finn Balor, Dane Priest. He was not going through this. Like I said, the only man that's getting the Edge rub, it's Jay White. But this match was all over the place. Yes, I get it. This was a hardcore match, but I saw Wheeler useless, but FTR did not show up. Like I said, those guys are leeches. Where was FTR? Everybody in the BBC Club showed up to help out Dean Ambrose, all except Pac-Man. But that's about it. That's all they need. Wheeler, Shafir, Cesaro, that's all you need. But where was FTR? This was a handicap match. Jay White and Edge versus the Death Rider BBC Club. Like I said, fuck FTR. Those guys are leeches. All they did was use Edge for his star power, just like they did with CM Junk and Randy Orton and MJF. Obviously, the Death Rider BBC Club, they beat Edge and Jay White. I believe Dean Ambrose put Edge in a chokehold, and that's how they won. Let's talk about the next match. Buddy Murphy versus Okada for the Continental Heavyweight Championship. I am so tired of All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling with all these championships. This company has too many championships. The more you do that, it waters down the rest of your championships, meaning your most important title is your World Heavyweight Championship. Okay, what is the difference between the International Championship versus the Continental Championship, and then you have the TBS Championship or the TNT Championship? Bruh, these are too many belts. It's like you can't keep up. Now, it would be different if Collision was a separate brand, just like SmackDown, but it's not. Both shows, they share talent. So this is too much. You have too many championships in your company. And then you have the Trios Championship, the Tag Team Championship, the Ring of Honor Championship. Your fans cannot keep up. Nobody knows who's a champion and who's not a champion. That's not good. Less is more. Not more is more. Less is more. When you do that, your titles become meaningless. Who cares about the Continental Championship compared to the International Championship? What's the difference? What are my thoughts about this match? This was a great match because this match style, it fits Buddy Murphy. I feel like Buddy Murphy should be wrestling in New Japan Pro Fake Wrestling. His style fits that environment. I always felt like Buddy Murphy was a poor man's Kenny Omega. Tell me I'm lying. They have very similar styles. So it makes sense for Buddy Murphy to wrestle for New Japan Pro Wrestling. This match was case in point. Buddy Murphy and Okada, they have great chemistry. Just like Omega and Okada, they have great chemistry. I think that Tony Khan, man, he should let Buddy Murphy wrestle for New Japan Pro Wrestling for maybe 4 to 5 months. Let's see what Buddy can do in that environment. I remember a long time ago, Omega said that Buddy Murphy reminds him of himself. I would never forget that. Towards the end of this match, Buddy Murphy did Rhea Ripley's submission hold. That was great shit. That was a great tribute to Rhea Ripley that he did her submission hold. But Okada, he distracted the ref, and then he kicked Buddy Murphy in his dick, and then he gave him the Rainmaker. 1, 2, 3, let's go home. Match over. Okada wins. Even though Buddy Murphy was mega over in that building. So let's talk about the next match, the last match of the night. Big Booty, Timeless, Toni Storm versus sexy ass Mariah May for the All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling's Female World Heavyweight Championship. Oh yeah, for some strange reason, the audience was chanting "Rip her tits off." I'm like, who are you talking about? That's an odd chant. Rip her tits off. Do they say that over there? Do they say that in Australia? Because that's an odd chant. I don't care what anybody else says. Mariah May has been a great female world heavyweight champion. I have no issue with her title reign. She has been solid. Keep in mind, this female has not been here for a long time. She's been here for maybe 1 year and change. That's about it. She's still fairly new to this audience. This match was very good. It was very solid. This might have been the best match of Mariah May's career in All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling. So who won this match? It was Big Booty, Timeless, Toni Storm. She won this match with a small package. I'm like, that is very anticlimactic, because isn't this her hometown? Why is she pinning Mariah May via a small package? That means this was a low-key fluke win. Toni Storm deserves to win this championship with her finisher. I'm sorry, but this was bad booking. Who booked this match? If you are going to give Big Booty, Timeless, Toni Storm back her championship, why would you give it back via a fruit roll-up win? That is very disrespectful. I mean, come on. Her hometown city does not want to see her win via a fruit roll-up fluke victory. But overall, this was a very good, solid ass match. So, what do I grade this whole entire show? I will give it a 7 out of 10. This show was very solid.